Hey there, awesome faculty. Mark Franke here, SLO coordinator, and today I'm going to give you a little refresher course on how to get your assessment data into eLumen. The first thing is to log into eLumen, where you need just your user ID, which for me is M. Franke, first initial, last name. You do not need @cerritos.edu. In fact, that will not work. So just put in your username and the same password you use on campus and log in. Once you're logged in, make sure your role is faculty. And if you work in multiple departments, make sure it's on the department that you are looking for. The left tab says courses, and it's automatically defaulted to the fall of 18. And here are my courses for the fall. First thing I want to point out is the roster. Right next to the ticket number is a little icon with little people. If you click on it, it will show your roster, and you can compare that to your records. Those rosters should be the last rosters. We ran them after the 14th week, so it should have just the students that remained and got a grade in the class. In order to put in the assessments, you have either the scorecard view, the rubric view, or the spreadsheet. I have a separate video on how to prepare and input a spreadsheet. If you just want to click the boxes, you can either do it rubric or scorecard. Scorecard has a list of all of the students and every SLO that for the course. And then you have to just click these boxes out here next to each student so that every student either has a score or has a not applicable, an NA. If you don't have a score for a student, in other words, they didn't take the assessment, you put an NA. Then all the way at the bottom, and I'm going to change it back just so that it was a change. Click Save, and then go to Courses. And it'll bring you right back, and you should see the green check mark. The green check mark means that you are done with that course. Now, in this case, I have a course that has both a lab and a lecture. Sorry, the lecture is the 2.2 and the lab is the 2.3. So you can see down here on the scorecard for the lab section, which we don't assess in accounting at the lab level. We do the lecture. Some do it that way, some do it with the lab and not the lecture, and some do both. However your department has decided is fine, but you can see this has 0 out of 30. That's because there's no student with scores. If you have a fraction of a number, 29 over 32, that means that there are 29 students that have a score, but there are 3 students who do not at least have a score for 1 or more SLOs. So you need to go back in and fix that until every student has a score for every SLO, even if that score is NA. The rubric brings it up 1 student at a time. And so you can click the box and then go to the next student. If that works better for you, that's fine. And then, of course, the spreadsheet is the third option. Okay, hopefully that helps you out and gets you started. Let's get them in, and so we can look at the reports in the spring. And I appreciate you listening to this, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'll have a video on reflections and on looking at the results for you to look at as well. Bye-bye.